Happy New Year, and welcome to the incoming video podcast. The show looks back at the week's historical miniature releases. This is episode 29, looking back at the releases for week ending the 8th of January 2010. And as always, I'm your host, Neil Shook. Well, there's been a somewhat limited set of releases in the historical field this week, so I only have a top 9 for you. So we'll crack on, shall we? At number 9, we had the first of a couple of releases this week from Venexia. They kicked off this year, started to release new Ancients ranges. These are a painted example of one of their packs of Sea Peoples. Nice enough figures. Must admit something, I didn't really get my juices flowing that much, but some good sculpts from Venexia. Number 8, we have some new releases from Artizan. They've released 4 new packs this week of their Lancenet. We have a couple of packs of Pikemen and a couple of packs of Arquebuses. Typical artisan sculpts, you can certainly tell looking at these that they're artisan styling. Nicely sculpted and detailed. Possibly a little uniform for some people's tastes. It just depends if you like your miniatures in similar poses or not, I suppose. But a pretty nice release from Artisan, I think, on the whole. Number 7, and the first of some new releases and that we anticipate from Curison. They've actually given us a taster of their new Swiss army. Yeah, it looks an interesting army. Pretty good stuff again for Curison. They're fairly consistent when it comes down to their quality. So definitely an army to look out for sometime in the near future. And we'll be looking for these to be released next week, I think. So you might see some more of these in next week's show. Number 6, we have the latest releases from Foundry in their Zulu Wars range. This is Swazi and Native Natal contingents. Some actually really nice models in here. I particularly like the Native Natal horse that they featured. Again, suffering from all the problems that I've previously described with Foundry Zulu range. Some nice models, others that are a little bit unimaginative, and just a huge price. There really isn't anything here that we haven't seen that someone like Empress, for example, actually do better. But some nice figures all the same. Into the top 5, and at number 5, the second release this week from Venexia. These are their New Kingdom Egyptians. I'm afraid this is the only picture I've got of the range so far, but it shows off quite a nice army, I think. Obviously this is an army that's going to end up being dominated by chariots, and although we can't see the figures close up, this looks a nice enough addition, I think. And although we can't see the models close up, these look pretty good. So quite impressive stuff from Venexia. Number 4, and the first release of this year from Baccus. Baccus are promising all sorts of stuff coming out this year. And first up we have some new additions to their Sudan range. These are actually Egyptian infantry. They've released 2 different variants. First in their white, almost like dress uniform, if you like, complete with fezzes. And secondly, we have them in their campaign dress. If you haven't seen Baccus, I think they constantly impress me with just how much detail you can particularly get into a 6mm figure. I think the guys in campaign dress especially are really good. Not particularly my period colonial, but a couple of great releases from Baccus. Number 3, and a complete change in scale. This is one up to 54mm. First of a couple of new releases this week from All the King's Men. These are War of 1812 releases. These are US Dragoons. Really nice figures here. 54mm, not everybody's cup of tea, but there are some nice figures looking at this. Certainly worth a look, I think. Very striking as a larger figure. Certainly 54mm cavalry figures are very striking and imposing, and these look rather nice. Although, if you look closely at the picture, you'll notice that possibly the legs are a little bit too far apart on the troopers when compared to the horses. A very minor issue, I know. Number 2, and second release from Red Star Miniatures, company that started producing stuff back end of last year. Following on from their start of the Russian infantry, here you now see the first of their Chechens. We've seen essentially a couple of packs this week, and these again are looking really good. More irregular style troops. Here we see snipers, RPGs, machine guns. As I say, what looks to be generally a really good release from Red Star. couple of interesting quirks. For example, if you look at the kneeling guy with the RPG, his one arm looks possibly slightly long. That's being hypercritical though. On the whole, great set of releases, nice dynamic poses. Looking forward to more from Red Star. This looked to be a really good set of figures. So moving on to my number one, and it's back to All the King's Men, as well as releasing US Dragoons for War of 1812. They've also released these British 19th Light Dragoons as well. And again, some really nice poses, sculpting and detailing in these particular releases. 54mm, but some really nice looking figures. A great addition to their War of 1812 range. You can add these to their army in a box and they'd be fantastic. Great stuff from All the King's Men. I think the only thing I'd possibly query is the fact that the heads look a little bit uniform. The infantry are separate heads. I'm not too sure about the cavalry, but generally, a really good release, I think. But a really good release all the same. And this is certainly a company that's put 54mm gaming on the map. Certainly not the cheapest when it comes down to your choice of figures, but still really nice stuff. So that wraps it up for the first edition of Incoming for 2010. Thanks for watching. I hope you've seen something you like. And just before I go, I just want to say a big thank you to Zach at Tabletop Gaming News and Bill at the Miniatures page. Without these two guys' sterling work, this podcast simply wouldn't be possible. If you want to catch other episodes, you can always see them at Warboots TV. They'll be streaming at the bottom of the page. So, until next time, happy gaming. Come back and join me again next week for another video review. Bye.